big island is like a window into your soul. You know, if you're strong, you'll see that. If you have weakness, you'll see that. And everybody has both of those elements. Parts of themselves that are very strong, parts of themselves that have self-doubt, that get nervous, that have fear. Your physicality is what gets you to the start line. You know, you have to be trained. You have to do swim, bike, run. You have to do your base, your speed, your taper. You have to do weight. But the top 10, 20, 30 guys, physically, you know, you test them, they're all within a tiny percent. So why does somebody win and somebody else doesn't? Here. That's what this race is about.
I feel pretty fresh physically and mentally right now, and I'm pretty eager to get into training and to get into next season. I think a lot of times at this time of year, just in the middle of your off season and you've taken your time off after Hawaii, after having a bad year, I'm so excited to prove to people that, you know, I have a lot left and just prove things to myself. And, you know, for me, I want to get out there and do my training and have great workouts and go pull off some great races.
So 1050s on freestyle. We're going to do a longer distance set after this. So make sure, right now we're looking for a low stroke count.
Well, I'm a person that's good with structure and routine. This year, well, I thought I needed to change things up a little bit.
You know, in my book, she's one of the 3 best women Ironman athletes ever. I think Rory's level of motivation is to get back to where she's normally, you know, standing on the podium in the first place. And I think that she wants that, you know, better than ever.
In 1996, I had done some races and got some pretty good results, and that sort of when I opened my eyes and thought, wow, maybe I could be good at this, because I still never really thought that it'd be something I would do as a career.
Congratulations, you had an incredible string of international Ironman victories this year, and now the big one in Kona.
You never know how this race is going to go. It just gets tougher and tougher every year, and this is like a dream come true. I was so happy last year just to share in Peter's victory, and I didn't know if mine would ever come, but this is incredible. I just wanted to know what that feeling was like.
I just thought that I would have a lot less stress in my life this year, and then I don't even know how I managed to win Hawaii, and I did, and I thought, wow, if I can have a race like that when things are kind of tough, I was like, wow, this year will be a piece of cake.
Lori, this last year had a lot of different stuff going on, her divorce from Peter, just motivation, injuries.
I had a very sick friend, my best friend, this year, so I took time off of racing and training and went to see her, and just, you think that there's far more important things in your life than your training and racing, and so training and racing isn't the most important thing in my life.
To be motivated, to put in 300 miles a week on a bike, run 50, 60, 70 miles, and swim 30,000 meters a week, that's a hard thing to swallow when you wake up on Monday morning.
The #1 race is 1998. That was and will always be the most special day of my life. You know, I dreamed about winning that race for years. In 2000, it was actually the other way around. I went in a world of pain for that victory. I remember Tim DeBoom, who's a really good friend of mine, he was running me down. I won the race, but it wasn't a magical play. In 2003 was a really weird year. I was in the middle of breaking up with, my wife, Lori. We were breaking up during that week. And so I basically went out there and did something that I loved the best I could. It was a hard time, and racing was actually a way of escaping that. I remember crossing the finish line, I was just like, yeah, I won the World Championships. I'm about to get divorced.
Peter is in the pantheon of Ironman gods, and nothing he does from here is going to drop him out of that.
Peter is a very shy guy. He's a very reserved fellow. He's sort of a loner, I would say. He's like the gunslinger.
Oh, the number one reason to make it as a pro was definitely to prove my dad wrong. My father and I were never close because when I graduated from university, I was like, I'm going to see how far I can go with this triathlon career. And he was totally against that. I'm wasting my life. When am I going to get a real job? I'd always hoped that one day I would be racing in Hawaii and I'd look over and there he'd be. But he was never there. He never did that. I want to win a couple more times. And if I can win a couple more times, then I'm going to be looked back as one of the greats. I've actually done something pretty amazing in the sport.
I actually grew up in a small country town of Australia called Portland. It's probably about a bit over 4 hours from where I'm currently living in Melbourne at the moment. I spent most of my youth down there, I guess, playing that traditional Australian rules football, cricket, basketball, tennis, you sort of name it. Growing up, I sort of participated in it. The day revolves around training, eating, sleeping, training. I'd wake up in the morning and you train, and then I guess you come home, have some breakfast, train again. If I wasn't a professional athlete, I'd still be a school teacher. Each time I come back home from Australia, overseas, back from America, I do a few days teaching. I love getting back in the classroom and being with the kids. Kids are great. They bring you back down to earth pretty quickly. They don't really care who you are or what you do. The race day in Kona this past year, I've tried to forget that and erase that one from my memory. My preparation leading into Hawaii was flawless pretty much, and I was excited about getting there, and I was very confident that I could improve on my 5th spot the year before. Within the first 3 miles of the bike ride, I've hit a pothole in the road. One of my drink bottles has bounced out the back, and that was pretty much had all my gels in it for the day. I made the decision not to go back and collect it off the road. That was probably a decision I'd change now, but I decided to pretty much stay with the lead guys. I guess at about 150 kilometres into the bike ride,